Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Zero to Dashboard webinar. My name is Kieran Kirk. I'm the Operations Director with IMGS, and with me this morning is Aditya Dote, who's our Senior Data Engineer. Hi, Aditya.
Hey, good morning, Kieran. Good morning, everyone.
Lovely morning this morning. So the sun is beaming outside. You wouldn't know in this webinar. So we're happy to see everybody here this morning, and we're going to bring you through our latest innovation, which has been able to provide a dashboard within 12 weeks. So we'll go from zero to dashboard within 12 weeks. So I'll introduce some of the topics, and then Aditya is bravely going to try and do a zero to dashboard in about 12 minutes. So that's even more of an achievement. So he's going to demonstrate bringing the data through from Talend to Snowflake and into a simple dashboard in Sisense. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining, and we'll kick off now. So our agenda for this morning is to briefly introduce our platform, talk about the zero to dashboard approach, and how we're doing that through a series of templates and packages, how the implementation works, and then Aditya will do the platform demonstration, and so a zero to dashboard in about 12 minutes. And then we'll talk about what deliverables you get with the solution, the customer care package you get from IMGS, and then future enhanced services that you can actually get with the platform and through ourselves once you get your dashboard up and running. And then we can take summary and questions and answers at the end. So with our data intelligence platform, as you mentioned, you can go from zero to an embedded dashboard in 12 weeks. So a rapid, quick start approach to deliver an embedded analytics platform where Talend will load the cloud data, into Snowflake and keep your data warehouse updated. The Snowflake Data Cloud will provide the data warehouse, and also through the new data cloud capabilities, provide access to also third-party data for your analytics. Sisense Cloud will then provide the embedded business intelligence dashboard, and IMGS will manage the implementation, onboarding, and customer care for this platform and enable the delivery of this solution within 12 weeks. With Talend data integration, we can do more faster with trusted data. So as you'll be well aware, Talend allows you to connect and load data sources to the Snowflake data warehouse. Talend has over 2,000 connectors. It provides both real-time and batch load of Snowflake data into Snowflake Staging data warehouse. It can also provide some base transformations and aggregation from the staging to the reporting data warehouse. And IMGS will manage and deliver this Talend process for updating the data warehouse and keeping it updated as part of the analytics platform. With Snowflake, we'll provide the analytics warehouse. So Snowflake will provide two data warehouses to support the platform. The raw data staging area where we load the data, where we extract and load the information, and then the reporting data warehouse to drive rapid analytics in Sisense. So the base transformation and aggregation from staging to reporting data warehouse will be done using Talend. All data will be hosted in the Snowflake Data Cloud, which also provides a unified system connecting companies and data providers to their most relevant data for their business. So now with the Snowflake Data Cloud, it's fantastic. A number of different providers are putting their data up there in the Snowflake Data Cloud so that you can take advantage of it, whether that's things like weather data or engineering information or customer information that you can consume in your analytics and add great value to your analytics platform. And then Sisense Fusion becomes our AI-driven platform for infusing analytics everywhere. With Sisense, we can simplify data analysis to unlock data from anywhere to use everywhere. We can build customized experiences. Remember, this is an embedded BI platform we're looking at. So you can leverage code-free to code-first to create custom workflows. And Sisense can evolve the business, so it gives you limited scale and flexibility and agility for the business of today and tomorrow. And with Sisense, we can infuse intelligence everywhere. So up-level standard to strategic decisions at the right place and at the right time. So our zero to dashboard approach is IMGS will create developer operations from 3 source systems into 10 tables. So 3 fact tables with all the reporting information and 7 dimension tables. IMGS and the customer will agree to a 1-week design stage where we understand your business process and problem, define the high-level design and approach, and scope and design the data migration and updates via Talend, and then scope and design the dashboard deliverable with yourselves. IMGS will create the Snowflake data warehouse and data flows. We deliver the first dashboard to the customer with in-place data update process, and then you as the customer will undertake the Sisense onboarding and dashboard user acceptance to get that first dashboard. And then once the solution goes live, we'll manage that solution post go live. So really, it's a rapid approach from going from zero, where you have no analytics platform, to getting your data into a cloud platform, into Snowflake, developing the data update process to keep it updated, and then to deliver your dashboard, to deliver real insight, to deliver real return on investment for your approach. So as part of the package, as we said, we'll provide 5 rapid implementation templates. So we have the sales and revenue dashboard, cybersecurity dashboard, gaming dashboard, customer 360, and marketing web analytics. The packages will consist of different levels of users and administrators and of the Sisense platform. So the small enterprise is 1 administrator, 5 designers, and 10 viewers. The medium enterprise is 2 administrators, 20 designers, and 100 viewers. And then up into the large enterprise, where you go twice the amount of designers and twice the amount of viewers, or bigger still, which can be agreed at the time. So the idea being that we can provide these packages, we can get you rapidly up to date in whatever area you need to go and deliver your dashboard really, really rapidly. The implementation plan for the 12 weeks is that in the first week we do the design phase after a pre-customer engagement, where we might do some conversations with you guys to understand your own readiness to go to the cloud. You know, some organizations may have some data issues that we may have to resolve before we kick off the 12 weeks. So we have this initial IT and data conversation just to make sure that we're ready to go. Then next thing we do is set up the cloud instances in Snowflake and in Sisense and in Talent, build the data loading workflows to bring your data into the organization. We'll be supported at this process with Talent and Snowflake in the background. We'll then develop the dashboard development, complete your Sisense onboarding. So work with you on training you up on Sisense. So as part of the solution, you'll be trained to create your own dashboards to then deliver further dashboards post go live. And then we do the embedded dashboard integration with your platform or into your applications. And then there'll be user acceptance testing and go live. So really a rapid approach, a quick start approach to get you insights and get you delivering action from your analytics within 3 months. So to show how this can be done, I'm going to hand over to Aditya, who will then give a brief demonstration of how we can take data in using Talent, load into Snowflake, and create a Sisense dashboard. So let me just make you a presenter, Aditya. So I'll stop sharing and make you Aditya a presenter. Yeah. That should be okay now, Aditya?
Yes. Let me show my screen. Okay.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
Thanks once again. Thanks, Karen, and good morning, everyone. So as Karen, said, so I'll follow on the same line, and what I'll try to show you quickly is that we'll start with the raw data, and we'll end up with a dashboard in Sisense, obviously using Talent and Snowflake in between, and then we'll discuss how quickly we can set up a process to have the dashboard ready and a production ready workflow that we can basically automate and bring it live. So before we start, just let me talk about the data we have. So I am using the data from AdventureWorks database. It's commonly an openly available BI database, like enterprise grade schema. And what we have is that we are a cycling company, and we have an operational store which sends us the orders that have been placed throughout the days and what have happened with them. So we have those files. We have the data as comma delimited, and what we have in the data is I hope you can see my screen. And so what we have is that we'll work with 2 sets of files. The first one is the order header, and this is basically the orders file. So a customer when places an order, so you can see that it will have an order number, order ID, and what credit card he used, what's the subtotal, the total amount he paid for the order. And the second file that we have is an order detail, which is basically line item file. So if a customer places an order, a record will be created in the order file, but then that record itself can have multiple line items or sub order. So there, those orders, those transactions will be recorded in the order detail file or the line item file. What we'll do is we'll follow the ELT approach. So we'll pick these raw files, we'll put them in a tabular format in Snowflake, and then from there we'll power our dashboard in Sisense. So let me take you to Snowflake. What we'll do is first we'll create a database that will store the raw files in the in tabular format. So I'll quickly create a database 02 dashboard. Let's give it a name. The 02 dashboard will be our database. And in here, what I'll do is we'll create two schemas. So you can see that by default, we get the information schema and the public one. But let's create a schema called stage. Stage schema will store the tables in its raw and granular format, picking up the data from delimited files and placing them into stage schema. We'll create another schema called BI. And now this BI schema will have the transformed and denormalized data. And I'll talk about it when we reach there. So I've created these two schemas. Now let's start. So the first task is to get our files into the staging schema into Snowflake. So what I'll do is I'll go to my Talent Studio, and I have already created a job called on-prem to stage. What this job does is, or what we want this job to do, is to pick the files and create a table and store the data. So to do that, what I have done is that, see on the repository panel, you can see that all your jobs, all your metadata and context, you can recreate and store it so that you can reference it if you're developing a workflow that reduces the time. So what I've done is, before the webinar, I have created a file. I have created basically the schema and metadata for the source files, the Excel spreadsheets that I show. So the one is the sales order header. We can see the metadata, basically the schema. So this is the schema that we'll bring in. So let's do it. Like, the first step is to read the file, read the data into Talent. So I'm placing a T file input delimiter component here. And as you see that, since I have already created the metadata, so it knows from where to pick the file, what the delimiter is, if there is text enclosed with special characters, and if it has an header or not. We can, if we like, we can also preview the data, but let's add a tlogro component. What it allows is that, in each step that we perform, maybe we create a transformer, so we can visualize our intermediate results using tlogro. So it helps us, as we develop our workflows. But not only that, see on the right hand side, you have palette, which has like loads of components and transformers that we can put into to basically solve each and every transformation problem that we have. Let's just quickly run this job itself. So hopefully it should read the header data, and we should have a log. So it's working. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to store this data into a Snowflake staging environment. So similarly, I have created metadata for Snowflake as well. So see, I have created Adventure Work stage metadata, and to show you what I have is that the warehouse we'll be using is the stage warehouse. Schema is the stage, the schema that we just created, and the database 02 dashboard database just we created. Now I'm connecting to my Snowflake instance, right? So let's drop a Snowflake component here and select the T Snowflake output. What it will do is it will create the table and it will load the data. So I have it in here. Let's connect the two components. Now let's configure it. So already the basic metadata is there. I have connections and everything ready, but you see that the table is not listed. So we give our table a name. So I'll call it sales order header, right? So sales order header will be the table, and the schema type, the schema of this table is as of now built in. So if I click on it, so you can see that this is the schema that's coming to me from source, which I have already defined. But in here in the Snowflake, I don't have a schema. So what I can do is I can just copy it if I like. So my schema is copied over. So basically this is the table structure that I want. And what we'll also do is that for table action, what I want to do. So let's say that, you know, if a table already exists there, you drop it and then we'll create it. Although there's no table uh, present there because you've created the database, so we're fine to use this option as well. And then the output action will be insert. So let's run it. So now the idea is that we are picking up the raw data or the data that have been provided us to from the operational store, and we are making it persistent and storing it into our Snowflake staging area. Let's go to the Snowflake environment again, and here let me just refresh it. So hopefully on the left hand side you can see that we have our 02 dashboard database that we created. Let's highlight it, and this is the stage schema that we created, and you see that we have now one table called sales order header, and you can see that we have got 31,465 rows, and the same rows were transferred from talent 31,465. So we have got the stage table ready. We can preview the data. So we have the staging table. So we have got one file and make it persistent in a tabular format. Uh, Similarly, what I have done is that for order detail, I have already created the same workflow. So I'm not just to save some time. And so I'll quickly deactivate the current sub job because I don't want it to run. And let's activate this one. And what it's doing is again picking up the order detail or the line item table, the another Excel sheet, and it's again storing uh, the data into a table called sales order detail into the staging environment itself. So let's again run this job as well. So ideally what should we have pretty soon is another table, and from there we'll start building a BI schema. So it's yes, so it's almost over. So we have transferred some 100,000 records. So let's go back to our and you can see that we have got sales order detail table as well. Right, we can preview the data, so it looks okay. So now what we have is a staging table ready. But the idea is that we have a BI layer as well, right? And operational store, the database will be pretty normalized, but the idea is to denormalize or reduce the number of relations or joins that we have to do. And it serves multiple purposes to denormalize the data. The biggest being that it reduces the complexity for the stakeholders if they want to analyze the database itself. And the second, it reduces the query time dramatically because you have to hop fewer number of joins. So before we feed this staging data, two tables into a Sisense dashboard, what we'll do is we'll create a fact table from these two tables, and we'll store that fact table into our BI schema, right? So again, let's go back to talent. For this, I have created another job already. So you saw that in first iteration, we pick up a raw file and stored into the staging schema. And now this job, what it's doing is it's using or reading the two staging tables that we have created, or the detail, which is our line item table, and then the order header, which is the order table. And I've uh, used a transformer called tmap. So tmap is used to join these two tables. What I'm basically doing is I'm joining the tables based on the primary key, and then I'm selecting few columns that I need, and I am removing the columns that I don't need from the order header table. And I'm creating a table on the right hand side. You can see that this is basically all the data I want, and rest I can ignore. Right? So this will be my fact table. Uh, so, and if I can show you the output table, so this will be our fact sales order table that will be created. So we can run the job from here as well, but that's not the idea. What we can also do is we can automate the whole process using from talent management cloud. So let's log into the management console. So if you see here, I have logged in into the into the into the cloud management studio, and what it has is it's a centralized orchestration and uh, yeah, orchestration platform where we can publish all our jobs. So what I have done is that this job that I have created here, I have published as an artifact in a workspace called 02 dashboard. You can see I have created one task out of it. So stage 2 BI is the task, and we can also see the artifact in here. So it's exactly the same. And what from management console, we can absolutely control every aspect of our execution. So ideally, we won't be executing the jobs manually. So in here in the execution plan, we can define the frequency. For example, the run type of this is for manual, but we can define it can be a trigger based approach, or if it's a daily report, we can schedule it daily, weekly, or based, or maybe a webhook, as I said, that if we have to uh, uh, do it based on a trigger, so we can do that as well. But for now, let's save it as manual. So my task is live now, and let's run it. So hopefully what we should have is that our stage 2 BI task will run. It will read the two staging tables from Snowflake, transform it, and create a fact table in the BI layer. So that ELT approach that we first extracted and loaded into Snowflake, and then we are transforming it from Snowflake itself. Right? Uh, so So you see that our the job has completed. Now let's come back to our worksheet and see if we have got the table. So in the BI schema, if you can see that we have got now fact sales order table, right? I can preview the data. So this is the table that we have. So see, we have reduced from the staging to fact, from two tables we have gone down to one table. This is a fact table. Now we want to create a dashboard out of it. We want to analyze it, and we want to create a daily summary. So let's log into Sisense. So I've logged into my Sisense environment. I'll go to the data tab. Now in Sisense, we have two options to get the data into the Sisense environment. First is that we can use the Elastic Cube, which is Sisense cache. We can get our data from Snowflake and store it into the Elastic Cube. Or the second way is that we can use live connections. Since our data is in Snowflake and Snowflake is pretty fast, so we can utilize that and we can create a live model. So let's create live model. Let's name it as first dashboard. And in this live model, we'll define the schema for Sisense dashboard, right? So I can click on the data. See, I have already created the metadata or the connection details for the Snowflake account. But then there are a lot of other connectors, and if some connectors are not here, we can just add them, and there are whole loads of JDBC connectors that Sisense supports. So let's just click on the pre-saved connections, see that I'm connecting to our environment. And from here, what we want to now do is to basically get in the fact table that we just created. So here I'll find the database. 02 dashboard was the database. And in the BI, we have created this one fact table. We can also preview it. If we want, we can also use SQL to modify the data or columns that we want to get in. But for time being, let's uh, bring it as is. So I have my fact table. So although it's just one table, but we have table and we have the schema. What we'll do is we'll publish it. Publish, what it does is it finalizes the schema. So now Sisense knows that you have this data model called first dashboard, and it has one table with the columns, right? So on the left hand side, you can see all the columns that I have. Remember, since we are using the live connection, we are not bringing in any data. We have just, by publishing it, we have just finalized the schema. Right? We'll fetch the data straight away from Snowflake when we create our dashboard. So now I'll come to the analytics tab, and here we'll create our first dashboard. So call it new dashboard. I have to give the data source that we have just created called the first dashboard. And you can see that in Sisense, these cubes represents that it's an elastic cube, but this lighting symbol means that the type of the model is live connection. So first dashboard title, what title we want to give to our dashboard. Let's say it's first dashboard itself. And so here now we can start creating our dashboard. Let's select the data. So we have fact sales order, and these are the columns we have. Let's quickly find out the total order quantity uh, that we have. So we have got this. Let's quickly create the create a widget. So now we have the total order quantity from all the orders that have been placed. Let's create another widget. Now this time I can go to the advanced configuration, and I can decide what data I want to bring in and what chart I want to prepare. So these are the by default widgets option that we get in Sisense, and if not, there are loads uh, uh, publicly available and partner libraries that we can call in and start creating our widgets. Let's create another indicator widget first. So let's say we want to find out the line total. Now, if we sum the line total, we'll get the revenue. So that's our revenue. We can change the look and feel. We can customize the widgets and everything. And we can manage every aspect of design. Let's create another widget quickly. This time we'll go say for line chart, and on x-axis let's put the order date. Now since Sisense knows that the date order date column is of date type, it further gives us option to what x-axis time dimensions we want to put in. We can put in years, quarters, months. Let's say we'll put months. Okay, and in values that will go on the y-axis, let's say we want line total. So you see now we have a line chart ready, right? What we can also do is that we can clean or change the look and feel of the each and every widget as well. So let's say I don't want the grid lines, I want value labels, right? Let's say we also want narratives. So what Sisense narratives are is that it's a dynamic textual summary of the chart that you're seeing here. So it's generated automatically, and it based on the AI engine that Sisense has and on the knowledge graph, right? We can also just change the layout. So I like to have the summary below my visualization. So let's click on apply. So now see we have got our simple dashboard ready, and what we have is 3 widgets, right? They are all interactive, not to say. And as I said that even the narrative is also dynamic. And yeah, so let's maybe quickly change the color type to make it look more bold. So that's all. So what we have is that from the raw data, we have a dashboard ready, and this can all be put in an automatic process. As you said that from talent management console, the jobs can run on a given schedule. Similarly, dashboard, since it's a live connection, we don't have to schedule it. As soon as someone comes on the dashboard, he will get the live data, because see, the data that Sisense is fetching straight away is from Snowflake. So that in a way we can quickly start building our dashboard. What I'll quickly show before I hand back to Kieran is like a final dashboard that we can get. So I can go back to the analytics, and the sales report is the same dashboard or the same data, but just it has few more tables and columns in it. So similarly, we can create something like this, which is like all the data and columns and dimensions that we have, right? And so how I got this data is that I've created earlier this job. So it's another. So we just got one table, but then here in this job, I'm getting multiple tables and storing it into the BI layer, and then from there, this dashboard is basically powering, right? So we can create uh, something like this pretty quickly using the platform. So I think that's all from my end. Karen, if you'd like to elaborate on this more.
Yeah,
No.
no, that's great. If you can make me presenter, Aditya,
Yeah.
I'll share my screen again.
Yeah. You are
Okay.
now present. Okay.
Perfect, thank you. And let me just flick to the slide. Yeah, thanks, Aditya. That was excellent. I still think 12 weeks is too long. Like you're after doing the dashboard in 12 minutes. So what is that for the other 11 weeks is what I want to know. But no, that's really good. It just shows with the cloud platform how quickly we can ingest data and deliver insights. And also, I really love at the end there where you showed the narratives. So with the latest version of Sisense, we're able to go beyond data-driven to intelligence-infused, where previously we were looking at reports and dashboards and basic automation, and adoption was very slow to take up in organizations. To now we're going to insights and workflows, real-time decisions as you were doing there, an empowered workforce and perpetual innovation. So using AI to make better decisions, to provide people the answers that they want wherever they want them. And our platform is cloud ready and ready to deliver on these insights in rapid time. So the deliverables from our solution is you will receive the Talent Cloud Data Integration Platform, Snowflake Data Cloud, and Sisense Fusion Embed Cloud. There will be user documentation on the system, and we'll deliver one complete dashboard, similar to what Aditya was showing at the very end. We will also provide to you 40 hours of onboarding so that you can then continue to create your own dashboards post go live and enhance and deliver more insights. IMGS also will provide customer care, so a managed services support to support the platform to ensure it's kept up to date, patched with the latest updates, and also that there's additional support you can get from us if changes are required or other development is required. And we'll also deliver that based on an agreed service level agreement. Naturally, at the end of a solution like this, there could be some enhanced services that you might require. As I said, we don't deliver talent or Snowflake training as part of the initial implementation, but that is something that we could then do post go live if you've got people who want to get involved in that area. Naturally, we can help you develop future dashboards. And also with any application like this, any BI platform, the minute you start creating dashboards and looking at your information, you're going to find data quality issues. So we can actually help with talent to build data quality workflows to sort out those issues and create stewardship and actionable data quality, ensure all your data is good and driving real insights. And with one thing we haven't shown this morning, but Sisense is fantastic at creating actionable analytics. So whether it's calling a webhook to message somebody in Slack or to tell them in Teams there's an issue, or using the Sisense Pulse to alert somebody that a KPI has been hit, these are things that we can then build with Sisense and you can use to enhance the delivery of your platform. So in summary, the IMGS Zero to Dashboard approach can deliver your organization insights within 3 months. Our platform is 100% cloud-based and removes the IT overhead for your organization. Our managed service will ensure the solution continues to deliver post-go live. So I think, as you can see from the demonstration this morning, we're taking best-of-breed products to build and deliver insights rapidly, and we can ingest and use things like Snowflake, which is a fantastic data warehouse and data cloud, to rapidly stand up an application stack that previously pre-cloud would have taken years to achieve. So this is really changing how organizations, it used to be that a BI data warehouse project could be 12, 18, 24 months. Because of SaaS applications like Talent, like Sisense, like Snowflake, we can deliver these kind of solutions in 3 months. And we're delighted to be Sisense, Snowflake and Talent partners.